Most people think playing it safe is playing it smart, but most people are also really miserable. Think about it. The default advice is to just not go out of your way, don't do anything out of the ordinary, and if the outcome isn't certain, don't bother. So what we end up doing is automatically assuming that the unknown is bad for us just because we can't see it yet. From a psychological standpoint, our brains are literally wired to treat anything unfamiliar as a threat. It's not that we're weak or scared, it's just that the brain is still running an ancient program that was designed for survival, not for actually living in today's world. We feel the pain of losing something about twice as strongly as the pleasure of gaining it. So of course it makes sense that we avoid the unknown. But there's something about risk that not a lot of people like to talk about. The loss that comes from not taking chances at all. Because we only get a limited number of those in a lifetime. A huge chunk of them happen between adolescence and middle age, and at some point, that window starts narrowing. There are far fewer risks worth taking than you originally thought there would be. In the short term, people regret the risks they took, but long term, it's the ones they didn't take that stay with them. You probably have something in your head right now, something you've been sitting on. Every time it comes up, you tell yourself the timing isn't right, or you'll get to it eventually. But that window doesn't wait for eventually. And here's what almost everyone gets wrong. They think not deciding is inaction, but not deciding is still a decision. Waiting is still a decision. And just like any other decision, it has consequences. By doing nothing, you're still doing something, just not the right thing. The easiest way to see if something's worth the risk is to look at the difference between regret and risk itself. Risk hits hard and fast. It's immediate. Regret is slow. It accumulates quietly and creeps up on you at random moments over a very long period of time. And unlike regret, risk is almost always recoverable. We treat it like it's permanent, but most of the time, if it goes wrong, you can course correct. The fear is almost always bigger than the actual consequence. When you sit down and map out the worst case scenario, you realize it's survivable, that it's actually worth it. Most people are waiting to feel ready, but readiness comes after you begin, not before. The people you look up to were never fearless. Fear doesn't go away. At some point, they just had no choice but to make peace with what was waiting on the other side. And all the small decisions they made along the way meant that when the big moments came, there was no hesitation. The thing you always got to keep in mind is, who you'll be in the next year is the sum of each small bet you're willing to take today. We always overestimate what one big risk can do for us and underestimate what a series of small, consistent ones can do over time. What's crazy is that the gap between who you are and who you want to be can't be filled with luck. It's filled with the right decisions piling up over time. Now the question would be, how do you update this old and ancient survival-based software? Well, the problem is you can't. You see, people who take risks consistently aren't feeling less fear. They've just learned to read that signal differently. They feel the fear and slam through it like a concrete wall, every time. A moment where everything lines up and fear disappears. That's what we're constantly looking for. We've built this fantasy in our heads where one day the stars will align, the uncertainty will vanish, and we'll finally feel ready to move. Deep down, we know that's never coming. Yet we still look forward to it every day, so we can get started on things we have on our mind. And every single day that we wait, we're making a choice without realizing it. We're choosing the comfort of anticipation over the discomfort of action. We're choosing the story of someday I will over the reality of today I did. But here's the thing that changes everything. The sign we constantly look to reach for and grab a new reality out of has already happened. We just don't know it. That thought that won't leave your head, that's the sign. The idea that keeps popping up when you're doing other things, that's the sign. The feeling of knowing you should be doing something but you're not, that's the loudest sign of all. The things we have dusting in our subconscious, thinking we'll take those in action someday eventually, that is true until we finally run out of days. Days gone and chances narrowed to a fine strand of hair. And when that window closes, when you're looking back instead of forward, the regret isn't quiet anymore. It's loud. It's permanent. Believe it or not, the version of you that took the shot and failed is infinitely closer to the version of you that succeeds than the version that never tried. Because failure is just a direction change. It's course correction. But never trying? That's the only way to guarantee you never become who you're capable of being.